So, my morning started off hectically. If you're a friend of mine on Facebook, you saw me post something along the lines of, I am not a happy camper. It's because I waited since 6:45 to record this episode because I am 5 days behind. I should have released this on May 30th. Yes, May 30th, Saturday. And I didn't, clearly, because it's being recorded today. And I am excited to do this podcast. A little nervous about it. Well, I don't know. I always get nervous before I record my podcasts.
You can tell I make you nervous. That's what it is.
And I have Ray in here with me. If you don't know who Ray is, you got an issue. But he is my partner in crime when it comes to radio. Sorry, Joseph, but Ray has the title. Not like Joseph probably listens to this anyways. Him and I did shows live on air at KBPK when I was here.
Right, and now she's somewhere else, but that's another story.
Now I'm somewhere else. Now let me tell you about this because it's been a month. So just about me for a second because it's always about the local bands. I have landed a radio job.
Yay!
Yay! So I'm really excited about that. I am the board op on a afternoon radio show, talk show with Roger Marsh on You Don't Need to Know the Radio station. Anyways, and so I'm there.
Yeah, and congratulations, because that's a big step.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
And I am also the manager of Unscarred Now, who is a deathcore band. They are out of Whittier, California, so my hometown.
I was going to say, isn't that kind of close to you?
It's where I live. And big things coming for them. I'll just drop some shows coming up that they have. Right now, they are filming their music video on Saturday, so tomorrow. Really excited about that, so I'm not going to give you any more information.
Well, are you going to be in the video?
No, I'm not going to be in the video,
rats.
but I'm going to be providing food.
We want to put a face to the voice.
Yeah, because I'm going to be the one screaming. So that's happening. They also have another show on June 20th at Malone's. They have another one July 11th and 13th. July 11th is at the Black Light District in Long Beach. They are headlining, so 21 and over, I believe. So go see that. Go see June 20th. That's going to be a real good one with Wrath. I'm really excited about that one. But enough of me. I am now going to kick things off with my podcast and start off with my promotion for the website, aroundtheblockpodcast.com. Please go and check it out. I've been lagging because I'm trying to get a schedule going, and I think I say that every single podcast. It's the same friggin' thing. I'm sorry, I'm saying it again, but I need a staff. So
I'm available.
I need staff. So if anybody's interested, I know Kristen of Fail to Study hit me up and my friend Vanessa, and I have not gotten back to you guys. So if you're listening to this episode, don't worry. I will be hitting you up soon. I promise. So it's also Warped Tour season, so that is going to be taking up a lot of my time. Okay, so that's an update on myself, and like I said, aroundtheblockpodcast.com. That would be great if you could check that out and give me some feedback on what you would like to see or what I'm lacking at. I won't get mad, I promise, maybe, depending on who you are. Also, like my Around the Block podcast Facebook page, please, because that's where a lot of the show announcements are going to be at. If I don't update it on my website, it will be on Facebook. The shows for June. I am behind, so I apologize for not announcing your shows. If you had a show on June 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, or today, which is the 5th, I'm not going to add the 5th shows only because what if I don't get this podcast episode out until late tonight, like after midnight? Then it's pointless. I'm going to start off with June 6th, but tonight I'm just going to name drop. I hope my friends in I Hate Everybody and Anatomy Decay have an amazing show. They're opening up for Oceano in Anaheim tonight, so I hope that you just kill everything. Just do you. So June 6th, I have a couple shows coming up with that date, which is tomorrow. I have Bristol to Memory, Chad Martini, The Sly Digs, and more at 4th Street Market in Santa Ana. It's an all-day thing. I'm assuming 11:30 a.m. to 10 p.m. So check out that. I think it's like a street fair type of thing.
Street fair, so bring some sunscreen probably.
Oh yeah, unless it's gonna rain because it's supposed to rain in the forecast. So who knows? We also have Throne of Tyranny. And Brandon of Anatomy Decay says Tyranny. So I apologize to Adrian if I have butchered your name. every single time I have said your band name, so I apologize. But we also have Plant Tribe, Birthmarks, and more at Pomona tomorrow, and it starts at noon. We also have Pop Punk versus Metal show at Los Globos in LA with Johnny Moore, who was featured on my last podcast, so hey to you. He's doing his first acoustic performance tomorrow night at 9:30, so go and show him some support. We have June 7th, Hammer Fist at Sinbad's in Riverside at 7 p.m. June 9th, the same place with Dayseeker, Upon the Water, and more. Like I said, at Sinbad's, that starts at 6:30. Also at Slide Bar in Fullerton, it's 21 and over, so I apologize. The Body Rampant and Bristle to Memory will be playing that at 7:30. I don't have a lot of shows that I'm saying. I'm sorry, guys, if I've missed any of your shows that I said I would announce. I'm in a rush. Thanks to Tracy, PD of 90.1 FM, KBPK.
I hope he had a really good golf game.
Yeah. He was playing golf while I was waiting in the parking lot to record this podcast episode. June 14th, I have Face Your Maker, Mother Sound, and more at the Grizzly Den in Upland at 6 p.m. June 16th at Los Globos again with an acoustic performance by Johnny Moore, and that is at 9 p.m. June 17th is a Free House of Blues show hosted by Pirate Entertainment in Anaheim, California. This starts at 6 p.m. and they're doing this kind of like vote now for the band you want to play. I think it's about 5 to 6 bands. June 19th, we have Pomona Warped Tour in Pomona at the Fairplex Fairgrounds at 11 a.m. So, like I said, Warped Tour season's here. Gear up.
Looking forward.
Get ready. Pierce the Veil, Miss May I, August Burns Red, and a bunch of other cool bands that I really have never heard of, which is an amazing thing because I'm excited to get new music out.
You know, that's where I got turned on to the Devil Wears Prada.
Devil Wears Prada,
right.
Warped Tour.
Yeah.
I remember you told me that story. June 20th, we have Battle for All Stars in San Diego. It's at Woody's Burgers at 2 p.m. ADHD Entertainment at Malone's in Santa Ana with Unscarred and Wrath at 3:30, which is what I had stated earlier. I'll be at that one, so come and say hello. OC Death Fest in Bell Gardens at American Legion Post number 465 at 7 p.m. So that's going to be a good little fest as well. So if you don't want to go to Santa Ana and you're closer to Bell Gardens, I would go to that one. It's going to be a good one, OC Death Fest. We also have the See, here we go again. I am so sorry. I hear two band names, the Prevalent Reaping or the Prevalent Reaping.
I would go with the Prevalent. That's hard to say.
That is very hard to say. It took me a while, too. I had to actually hear people keep talking about it. But I'm going to say the Prevalent Reaping. Influence, Lessons in Murder, I Ate Everybody, and more at 8:30 in Los Angeles at the Lexington. June 21st is Warped Tour in Ventura, which I will be covering. So if you want to tag along and hang out, I'm down for that. Who doesn't want to go to freaking Warped Tour by the beach?
So am I driving on that one?
You're so driving at that one, actually, because I'm not driving my car to Ventura. June 24th, we have Out with the Old, The Long Run, and more at Chain Reaction, and that will start at 7 p.m. June 25th, the Ponderosa Aces, Beowulf, and more at La Cave in Costa Mesa at 9 p.m. June 26th is the Pre-Mayhem Metal Backyard Bash in Huntington Park. More information on that as I hear about it. Like I said, all these shows can be found at my Facebook page for Around the Block Podcast, and also will be uploaded onto my website tonight at aroundtheblockpodcast.com. We also have Lionheart on June 26th as well with These Streets and more at the Grizzly Den in Upland at 6 p.m. June 27th, we have Mayhem Fest in San Bernardino at the San Manuel Amphitheater with Whitechapel, Slayer, Thy Art is Murder. That's going to be a good one.
Yeah, that is going to be a good show.
June 28th is All Stars Battle for All Stars. Clearly, it's in the title. In Santa Ana at Malone's, and that's at 2 p.m. We have the Prevalent Reaping. I'm just going to say both because one of them is correct.
At least you'll be right half the time.
Exactly. 50-50 chance I'm correct. So they're battling against some pretty good other locals. So I think they're going to take it, though. Don't tell anybody I said that. Get it?
I think they're going to know.
Get it? Getting. I know you all know. Lions Amongst Wolves are really good friends of mine, and they were my very first podcast episode local band. When I interviewed them for the first time, I barely knew them. So interviewing them now, it was really, really interesting. Sorry once again to Benny, who I was so late to this interview last night. It was bad. I ended up getting there at like 12:30. I got lost. I got lost to Arlie's, and I couldn't find my way, and I had to call Mark, and Arlie had to direct me. Anyways, Benny left because he was hungry, and he could not wait any longer for me. So once again, Benny, I apologize. I will do a special feature with you in this month's podcast. Next month's. See, I don't know. We'll get to that later. I'll do like a special interview with Benny of Lions Amongst Wolves from a guitarist's perspective. That's a good one. Okay, I got it. So that's going to happen. So like I said, I'm doing a throwback episode this month, and it is Lions Amongst Wolves, as you can tell. Interviewed them last night on June 4th, and it was a really great interview. I really enjoyed it. I want you to listen to the 45-minute interview, and I enjoyed every moment of it. So here is the interview. Can you state your band name and who I'm speaking with?
We are Lions Amongst Wolves.
Uh-huh.
I am Mark. I do vocals.
I'm Arlie. I do drums. I make music with
And
my
The
drums.
beats.
And Benny was here, but
Benny was here,
left.
but he left because he was hungry.
Okay, so I want to know what happened with Johnny.
Well, Johnny, it's kind of a long story. He joined the band almost immediately after auditioning for us. I mean, it wasn't really much of an audition.
Kind of desperate.
I wouldn't say too much desperate, but more so like we were just ready to continue playing shows, because at the time that he joined, we had, some momentum going. We were still trying to develop our sound into what it is now. It was a little different, but he came in, he knew some songs, he laid them down, and we were like, he has good equipment, he has a good sound, he has a decent look, so why not just run with him and see what happens? So we pretty much jumped into it really quickly.
Yeah. And at this point, we were trying to go for that pop punk feel at the time, so after a while we started changing into a more heavier direction, and then you just couldn't hack it after a while, once our music style started changing.
And I don't think that he couldn't handle it, he couldn't hack it so much as he didn't put forth the effort. Well, at least from our perspective, he didn't put forth enough effort to try and up his game, to try and be on the same level as Benny is as a guitarist. Because Benny, his guitar playing is, I wouldn't say it's too intricate, but it's more of an advanced level than just basic rhythmic stuff. And he's using all of his strings. He's going all the way down to almost the lowest frets on his guitar. So I mean, he's all over the place. And Johnny, from our perspective, didn't want to put forth the effort after a while. I mean, I don't know what came into his head, where he was at mentally.
Stopped coming to shows,
He did stop coming. Well, we missed a couple shows because of him. He stopped showing up to practice. He stopped participating in the group message. It got to a point where he stopped paying attention so much that we mentioned in the group message, which he was still in, that we were going to start working with a new guitarist, that we were, working with somebody, that we were talking to somebody, and he didn't acknowledge it. He didn't say anything. He never even knew from what it seemed, because he never even responded to that. He never said anything like, "Oh, what's going on, guys? What do you mean you guys are working with a new guitarist?" or anything. It wasn't until after the fact that, we decided to let him go because of his absence, that he reached out to us and said, "Hey, I'm out of the band." We didn't tell him. We just kind of just let it be, because he was so absent, so gone, that we just felt like, what's the point in doing him the courtesy of informing him that he's kicked out, or that we're letting him go, if he obviously doesn't care enough to be present. So I mean, he hit us up, we told him he was out, and that's it.
Yeah.
I mean, we were willing to give him another shot, but we gave him a week to get everything down. And a week later, after agreeing to give him another shot, he said, "Oh, you should just continue to jam with other guitarists," and that's fine. We're currently searching, and hopefully we can find somebody soon.
Okay, and then that leads me into a search for a guitarist and a bassist, right?
Yeah, I mean, Aroik, which was our bassist, he was one of the original members. I mean, the founding three are myself, Arlie, and Benny. Aroik came into the fold like maybe a month or two later, after us already jamming and making tunes and stuff. Aroik was like a really solid part of the band. He contributed a lot, financially, and he gave a lot of his time.
Getting all the designs and everything like that.
Yeah, he handled a lot of design stuff for us, as far as talking to the designer and getting quotes, and he handled a lot of stuff financially for us, and he was a real big player in the band. But eventually, once we went through two guitarists and we got to the point where we got Johnny in the band, they got along fine initially, but eventually their relationship became a bit tumultuous, I guess. They weren't exactly seeing eye to eye on a lot of things, and Aroik would say like, "Oh, he's a little immature. He needs to grow up. He's not so responsible. I shouldn't be having to pay for his portion of whatever pre-sale or recording or whatever it may be, merch." He just eventually got to the point where he was so fed up that he just wanted to leave. He did a few shows with us after he had already made the decision that he was going to be out of the band. We knew it. We were just letting him linger on as long as he could, because we needed him, we wanted him, but we deep down knew that he was going to leave eventually and stop showing up to things, and it happened. We filmed a music video with him. He did us that favor, and I think that was the last thing we actually did with Aroik.
Yeah.
The music video is still unreleased and never got finished, but I guess
we're gonna put it out though.
Yeah, I don't think we're gonna put it out, because at this point,
two members that aren't even
exactly
are in it.
Exactly. So there's no point. We might as well start all over and just do something else.
We're still cool with Aroik. He started up I Hate Everybody after he left, and he asked me if I could play drums for him, and that's what we've been doing so far, other than Lions. Just been playing shows with I Hate Everybody.
And how's that going?
I'm having fun. I get a little bit of like a taste of two different styles, even though I'm in two different bands.
More of the brutal end of the stick right there.
I like to see people fight at our shows, so like that, it kind of pushes me to play better for I Hate Everybody.
Yeah, I Hate Everybody was like 07, I believe.
Around that time.
Started about 07. Aroik started up with Johnny Mata, which is another one of our homies. He's original vocalist for that band and still current vocalist. Yeah. The first incarnation of that band was a little different. It was actually comprised of members from my old band, actually, which was not Lions Amongst Fools, I'm tripping, which was Impurities. Aroik was in Impurities. He played bass. He got our guitar player to play drums for him. His name was Tutu.
He sucked. That whole album is...
What if Tutu's listening right now?
It don't matter.
He don't know you.
Fight me.
No, he does. Eventually they went into the Parasitic Complex. We were still homies, and it's just they've got history. Yeah, Aroik and I have been in the scene for a long time, long time. So we've got some history in this scene. We're old men now.
And you're continuing.
Yeah. I don't know if it's such a smart thing, but I mean, it's a passion of ours. So we once Impurities was getting close to the end, and I Hate Everybody was like kind of slowing down. We were like, you know what? Come 20 this was before we even turned 21. We were like, come 22, 23, we're gonna stop. Then we said 25, we're gonna stop. Here we are, like damn near 28 almost, and we're still going. So, I mean, it's just something that you can't shake. They say you could take the boy out the hood, but you can't take the hood out the homeboy. That's pretty much the same thing with us, but with music.
Man. There's been so many times where I said I'm done with this, but then something keeps bringing me back. I don't know if it's like a sign or something, but
It's the passion, dude.
Yeah, I
it's
love
like,
playing like music, seeing how people react to our music.
It's a lot of like the stressful shit that gets you down and wanting to stop, but I mean, eventually your heart just overrules everything, and you know, you just want to keep playing because I mean, it's the adrenaline rush. It's the fun of being in front of people, showing that you have a talent and them appreciating it. You know.
Mama didn't raise no quitter either.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like we're seeking validation from people, but I mean, at the same time, it's like, fuck, this is in us. This is what we're meant to do. We may not be the upper echelon or whatever, but you know, we're trying.
You're succeeding.
I mean,
You're
success,
doing pretty good.
Slowly but surely.
It depends on how you look at success. I mean, you know, we're definitely trying. We're keeping it going, and you know, we're down to just 3 members, the 3 core members anyway. Like I said, we were the original 3 that got this together, and
I think we've been going like being a better band as a 3-piece. Like, it's actually 3 people who actually give a shit about this.
And it shows on stage.
Well, thank you.
It really does.
I mean, as long as it translates, that's the most important thing, because if it doesn't translate live, then there's almost no point in doing it. I mean, we could do whatever we can on record. We could have all the studio production and whatnot, but if there's no live feel, there's no live experience, then it's almost pointless. Everybody wants to see their favorite band live, and if they don't deliver, those people never go back to see that band.
People say that about Whitechapel. It makes me super sad to hear that.
That they don't deliver live?
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't know. I saw them
Apparently they're boring.
I saw them at Self Help.
I like them.
they're captivating.
They're pretty decent. That was fucking heavy.
Yeah.
And then Phil's voice is brutal as shit.
Yeah.
They're on Mayhem. So that should be
They're
fun.
fucking doing it.
Yeah.
With all those, with Slayer and King Diamond.
For what's left of them. Yeah.
Say what you will, but they're established.
Yeah. I want to go back to your tryouts. What process do you go through? Can you tell me the process?
Do we have a process?
Do you have a process?
I mean, not really, but it's just the things we look in musicians is how comfortable you are playing it, how fast you get it down. Stage presence is a huge thing because we just don't want another body standing there. We want to see people get down and actually, you know, give a shit about the music.
Yeah. I mean, that's one thing, too, about losing Johnny. He brought a lot of stage presence. And like I said, you know, I don't know where he was mentally, but, you know, it seemed like to us that he gave up. And it's kind of sad because I did see a lot of potential in the kid. And, you know, he did have, like, killer stage presence. He was always, like, jumping around, headbanging, going side to side, doing whatever, guitar flips, whatever, you know, and that adds to the live show. And, you know, we are going to be, you know, desperately missing that. But, I mean, it's the name of the game right now. And, you know, I'm sure we'll find somebody else to fit the bill and hopefully bring as much energy as he did.
Have you found anybody you like?
I mean, there's one prospect we're looking at as far as guitar goes.
Yeah, he seems promising. We just gotta get used to him more, like get to know him as a.
He's a young cat. He's a young cat too. He's like 19. So I mean, he has really good equipment. His skill level is pretty good. I think he could keep up with Benny. You know, he seems interested. He is straight edge, which is different from us because everybody knows we like to party and drink and, you know, smoke weed. Not all of us, but
but that's one of the minor things.
We do like to
we
party.
We look past that though.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, it's who are we to judge you on your lifestyle? I mean, as long as we could get along and make good music, that's the most important thing. We do have 2 prospects for bass at the moment. We've sent to everybody the tracks on Guitar Pro. We sent them MP3s. So it's just a matter of them getting back to us and saying, you know, I'm ready to jam with you guys. Let's see how this goes. And we'll just go from there. Whoever we feel the most chemistry with, whoever we feel has the songs down the most, whoever we see that, you know, their image matches closely with ours, then, you know, we'll make that decision then. But, you know, as of right now, we're just really focusing on the 3-piece and not trying to book too many shows, and we're just trying to find.
So I shouldn't ask you if you want to play Treasure Fest.
I mean,
we would love to. Like, honestly, the way we're looking at it, if we could find at least a bass player before Treasure Fest and all that, and he's able to get it down, wishful thinking, but I mean, we'd actually be down to actually play more shows. Like, right now, it just seems empty from our point of view, like, as a 3-piece.
I'm going from 5 members on a stage to just 3. I mean, there's 2 people missing. That's at least 4 to 5 feet each member, you know, on a stage that's being occupied. So with them missing, that's a lot more space that we have to try and occupy on stage. It's just way too much space on stage, and it's like I miss seeing people to the left of me. I miss seeing, you know, people to the right of me. I mean, not to say that one of my sides isn't occupied, but the other side is empty, and it's like there needs to be somebody there.
But then also the sound.
Oh yeah, the sound definitely. I mean,
gives it a fuller sound.
We're running rhythm guitar and bass through the backtracks, which is okay. It's pretty clean, being that everything's cut and precise due to the recording process, and we just basically ripped it from there. But it's always best to just have a full band. Everybody likes to see a full band. Everybody wants to hear the live instruments, not just something looped through the speakers.
True.
And you recently released an EP.
Yeah.
What is your favorite song on it and why?
Heartfelt for me. Drumming wise, just because it's all around. Like, there's that metalcore-ish, but then also that thrash beat-ish, and then it goes straight into little jungle beats in the end. It's like, and I think more people mosh to that song more than any of our other songs.
Honestly, like our whole EP, but if I had to pick one song, I'd probably go with Crossover as far as musically goes, because I mean, it pretty much encompasses like everything that we're capable of. It's melodic, it's heavy, it's fast, it has basically an unpredictable chorus where it's basically like a chug riff with clean vocals over it, and it's kind of reminiscent of Deftones in a sense, which is one of my main influences, which I tried to convey with that song. And one of our buddies, Messina, shout out Messina, Norwalk Death King.
I hate that fool.
Love that nigga. He actually heard the EP and he sent me a text saying, like, dude, like, your inner Chino, which is the singer of Deftones, I definitely hear it in this song. And it tripped me out how he caught that without me even telling him. So I think my job was done on that. Another standout track for me, though, is definitely Heartfelt, because it's fucking fast. And I love that. In the beginning, it's like a super thrash riff, and it could get a circle pit going if we get enough people in a room. But yeah, I mean, I dig our whole EP.
So do I.
I think
it's a good
really good
first album for
you know,
for
it's
us.
not bad. I mean, it's a little bit different sound. I mean, it has a throwback feel,
Yeah,
but you could also tell we're trying to stay contemporary.
but the new shit that Benny has like working, like I think it's way better than anything.
The new
on
stuff's
album.
always better.
I
That's
know,
how it
but like
goes.
it feels like we're finally getting our rhythm. Like
We're finally finding our groove. Like, this is what we're supposed to sound like.
that's cool too, because like we've asked people like, who would you compare us to, and people have said like it's kind of hard, and like you guys already have your sound.
That's a
Right.
good compliment.
It is.
No, seriously, I posted the question up on Instagram, posted it up on Facebook just a couple days ago. We got a lot of bullshit, a lot of people breaking our balls. Oh, you guys sound like D12 and
Bee Gees.
the Bee Gees and like, just a lot of people just like busting our balls. But,
Love that.
we also got like, oh, you guys, it's hard to put you guys in a category because you guys have your own sound. Which is good to hear, because it's like, what are we doing differently from any other band? It's almost hard to separate ourselves, from our point of view, because there's a lot of good bands locally that we really admire, and they're like, we're like, wow, these guys are really good. Like, how can we even play shows with these bands? How do they even like our music? Because they're so good. And it's nuts.
And if you could change 3 things about the local scene, what would you say? It's kind of a serious question, I think, ish.
Well,
Be honest.
I'd probably start with promotion. Like I said, I've been in the scene a long time. I started being in a band when I was 13 years old. I'm 27 now, almost 28. I'm old as shit now. I'm ancient. Back in the day, I know partially because I was in high school, I had a lot of, acquaintances, a lot of friends, and, kids that were always looking for something to do, but there was always a packed show, whether it be at a house, whether it be at Chain Reaction, which I've been playing at for years, since I was like 14 actually. There was always people there, and we always had flyers to pass out. We didn't rely solely on social media, which at that point was strictly MySpace. It's like people forgot about physical promotion. A lot of people don't have Photoshop skills, paint skills, or whatever. So I think that it would help if, the shows that were booked at venues, if the promoters actually took the time to create a flyer immediately instead of waiting like a week before the show, so we could just post up online. It would help if they did it right away, even if it had TBA on it for the rest of the bands. As long as there were a couple bands on it, we could print them out, we could pass them out, wherever. We can hit up as many shows, try and maximize the potential for this show, because a lot of local shows are suffering because there's a lack of real promotion. A lot of bands are relying on social media, which is fine. It's that age, we're in that social media age, that technological age, but physical promotion still owns everything. If somebody doesn't have a physical flyer, then they're not going to be like, oh, well, I should check this out. Once it's in your hand, you're going to remember it. If you pass it up online, if you're scrolling, that's exactly what you're going to do. You're going to keep scrolling, you're going to pass it by. You may get a reminder the day of, but at that point you already forgot about it, you made new plans, and therefore you're not going to go anymore. So that's one definite thing I would change, the promotion point of view, for promoters that are booking and for the bands. As long as we have enough time to promote, then we could have decent shows, without having to sell so many pre-sale.
Yeah, that's a big fucking problem. I think, like, I understand, like, you have to pay everybody, but when it gets to the fucking ridiculous amount, like 60, 50, whatever it is, like, amount of tickets that a band has to sell, but at the same time, the venue itself is selling tickets so that people who walk up and buy tickets end up, like the venues stealing ticket sales from, bands. Like, I think they should think of a better way to, like, give out the amount of tickets so that people don't get shortchanged and shit like that. Mostly bands. But, I mean, if it was more, easier, for bands to sell. I understand, like, everybody has to get a cut out of it and all that bullshit, but give a reasonable, like, amount,
Yeah, I mean, if it's like a local showcase.
Yeah, don't be expecting, like, fucking
40 tickets, 50 tickets.
Yeah.
That's a bit ridiculous. I'd say for a local showcase, 25 tickets is more than acceptable.
Yeah.
I mean, it'll cover, your overhead for the night. It'll cover your staff, whatever. If there's enough promotion, there's going to be enough walk-ups. Perhaps the bands could get paid out, I know a lot of bands aren't in it for money, but, I mean, it does help, whether it's $20, $30, $40, whatever. There's a lot of factors to play into it. So that's two things.
Collectively, one more.
That's one more thing.
Just actual people going to shows.
True.
The people that are going to shows, I say
mad respect to them.
A lot of people that are going to shows are really selective with the shows that they're going to. It's like there's cliques. Not to say that there haven't always been cliques or there hasn't always been cliques, but it's like the same people are going to see the same bands. And the same bands are playing with each other. Why don't we try and mix it up? I don't know if people know, but I've thrown 2 shows past 2 years. Narfest 1, Narfest 2. I tried to mix up the styles of bands that I booked. I had, like, I guess traditional hardcore, metalcore, beatdown, kind of like rock alternative type of stuff. And, those shows actually were fun. From both shows, I got feedback like, oh, this was one of the funnest shows I've ever been to.
When's the next one?
When's the next one? For sure, yeah. It's things like that show me, like, it's fine to mix genres. You don't have to stick to one genre for the show. Sure, on paper, it makes more sense to book the same type of bands. Yeah. But, I mean, people want to see something different. People want to have fun. That's why people like going to festivals and stuff, because there's always different types of bands booked. So why not do the same thing on a smaller scale and blend it up a bit? Mm-hmm. I mean, I think that would definitely help, because not everybody likes the same style of music.
True.
So, I mean, if you like one style, you're more than likely going to like another style, and, you'll probably find the next great thing, like going to a mixed genre show. It's like, oh yeah, I came here for this beatdown band, but damn, this melodic hardcore band or this metalcore band or this alternative band really stole the show and they really sounded good, and I'm going to check them out. I'm a new fan. So bands could benefit from it, And
I've met some pretty good people at your shows. I met the dudes of Among the Bleak, who are good friends of mine now, and A Shark Among Us.
Beaners.
Yes.
I also booked them at one
Great
of my
bands.
shows.
Great
They're
bands.
really good, yeah. So, yeah.
They crush it.
You did a good job at your shows. I know. Which leads me into, if you can collaborate musically with anybody dead or alive, who would you want to do it with?
For
I know,
me,
hard.
Musician I would want to play with, who is deceased, is Dimebag.
What you say about Dimebag?
Dimebag Darrell Pantera. I've always looked up to him. I may be a drummer, but I started off as a guitarist, and I think I got better because of that dude, just learning all of his chops and everything. I would like to work with him. Living, that is a better question. Think it would mostly be that dude that records the Black Dahlia murder. No, scratch that. I would want to work with Black Dahlia Murder. They're the shit.
There you go. Hell yeah.
Yeah. I was thinking of Jason Sukoff, but he's an awesome producer. But musicians that are living, I would really want to like work with Black Dahlia Murder.
Hell yeah. For me?
Mm-hmm.
Damn. It's really a tough question because, man, there's so many, like, musicians that I would love to just work with. But, I always wanted to get, or I always imagined myself doing a collaboration with John Henry from Darkest Hour. He just has this unique sound. And lately, on their latest efforts, he's been doing more of a singing style. You know, his voice is still raspy, but it sounds amazing, and I really dig his sound. I dig Deftones. I dig Chino's voice a lot. I dig Maynard from Tool. You know, Zach De La Rocha of Rage Against the Machine. There's all just, man, I don't know. Tupac. I would love to do something with Tupac, man. I don't know. Tupac is one of my main influences. Like, he inspired me to pick up the mic and actually start writing lyrics. Like, I used to try and write little raps back in the day when I was a kid, and, you know, eventually I got into, you know, heavier music and I changed my style, but it was because of Tupac that I actually wanted to pick up a mic and actually start writing lyrics. So, you know, that's just some of the people I'd rather work. I want to work with. I mean, locally too, man. I want to work with John from New Challenger Approaches.
Sexy ass nigga. Love you, John. Shout out.
Love you, John. You the bae. I'd love to work with Ryan of On the Shoulders of Atlas. Damn. I mean, there's just, I don't know. There's just so many people I want to work with right now. You know, it's just a matter of getting things done. I also want to work with the singer from No Bragging Rights, Mike. He has an amazing voice, and I dig his style. But, you know, that's just me dreaming.
It could become a reality.
I mean, it definitely is possible. But I mean,
Wine and dine 'em.
69 'em.
Oh dear. Anyways, you made that awkward silence.
Next question.
Anyways, so I remember I barely knew you guys, and I interviewed you in Chain Reactions parking lot back in
The Lost interview.
forever and a half ago. It's the lost interview that never aired
It didn't
anywhere.
make the cutting room floor.
It made nothing.
Didn't
It
make
was all over
anything.
the place.
It made to my laptop, and
Right.
I could never release it because
That's for you. That's for you.
I don't know why I couldn't release it, but it never released.
That's fine.
But
No worries.
I'm gonna ask you some generic questions that everybody asks a local band or
Bring
any
on the
band
generic questions.
for that matter.
Mm-hmm.
So which songs do you enjoy playing live on stage, and why?
Go for it.
There's an oldie but goodie, which is Just Let Go.
It's my favorite.
That song has like a Kill Switch, Engage, Darkest Hour feel to it. And it's just fun to play it. The breakdown at the end gets people going, and we even extend the breakdown just to fucking keep the momentum going, just to get heavier and just kill the night, just end it with a bang.
But you stopped playing it.
We stopped playing it because we're a 3-piece now.
Broke my heart.
We don't have backtracks for that, and that's the main reason we haven't played it. We would love to keep playing it.
Just keep playing.
You could blame Benny for that one.
Yeah.
Darn it, Benny.
I mean, because there's a rhythm guitar behind the leads, and without it kind of sounds empty and kind of ridiculous. But
Makes sense.
I mean, we do like. I think we all enjoy playing that song live. It's an oldie but a goodie. It was actually on our first 2-song demo, which was with it was Just Let Go and a song called Nothing Sacred in This Feeding Frenzy, which was kind of a pop punk metalcore sound, which nowadays is called easy core.
Yeah.
That phrase or term wasn't coined yet when we made that demo, but Just Let Go, and I actually really enjoy playing Subtract Divide live.
Good
which
song.
is a song off of our EP Solace. It's just a fun song.
And what do you guys like to do on your off time? Did we already cover some of this at the beginning of the interview-ish? Just a little bit?
Yeah, we like to drink beers.
Yeah, party. I'm a herbal enthusiast.
Herbal essences.
Shampoo?
Nah,
Not the shampoo.
you can't get high off of that.
Oh,
I've tried. Nah, but other than work, it's just chilling at home with the family. Don't really party that much. Just mostly at shows. And just try to get better at my own craft. I'm always listening to different drummers. I'm always thinking of beats in my head. So if you ever see me just quiet in a room, is most of the time I'm thinking of like drum beats, or I'm really, really high.
or
Good to
both.
know.
Or both.
I'm doing both, yeah.
For me, I mean, I don't really have any, like, downtime, really. I mean, I work full-time. I drive in traffic full-time.
Ugh.
I get home, you know, I'm a father, and, you know, I entertain my kid. We play with his toys, and we watch, you know, movies, YouTube videos, which he's really into for some reason. You know, I write when I can. I'm constantly listening to our EP just and singing along with it, so I make sure I'm on point live. I know I need to keep doing that so I could improve. I'm also a wrestling nerd. I watch a lot of wrestling, a lot of WWE, a lot of Lucha Underground. That's really what I'm about. So, I mean, that's pretty much it.
It's normal life.
Normal life.
Yeah.
Nothing too extravagant. I'm not out spending bills on popping bottles and in the club.
Nobody got time for that.
Ain't nobody
shit.
got time. I got bills and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Or money.
Tell me about it. If you could tour with any local band, not big bands, local bands, who would it be?
I'll name a couple. Mirage Theory for one.
Mm-hmm.
Became-
They're just like pretty much new to our scene locally.
Yeah.
They're from Puerto Rico, and those guys rip. They played our EP
kill
release
it.
show. We actually went to me, Arlie, and Messina, which we mentioned earlier, went to an event, Lucha Underground, with Eddie from the Mirage Theory. Cool guy. The whole band's pretty cool.
From the first day we met Eddie and the dudes, they were just really welcoming. And then once we kicked it with Eddie, you know, not at a show, like, we just had a blast with the dude.
Yeah.
He's really humble, really
Super.
all around good guy. His fucking band rips. Make
Yeah.
sure you guys check him out. Other bands, Anatomy Decay.
Anatomy Decay, yes.
Bunch of
good
cool-ass
guys.
motherfuckers.
Good guys,
Hired
definitely.
everybody, ended up playing a Vegas show out there. Ended up partying with fucking Torin. And I just remember all of us huddled during the night, hugging each other and cheering.
That's
I don't know
cute.
what the fuck happened, but
I'm
a lot of
mad I
drinks-
missed that.
Drinks were involved, but
Clearly.
I fucking dig those dudes. And
New Challenger approaches.
New Challenger, fucking love John,
Napoleon,
Pablo, Napa,
fucking-
all
yeah.
the motherfuckers. Sorry if I don't remember the other dudes' names, but you guys are loved. Always
Yes.
having a blast with you guys.
Definitely.
was-
Homies in Behind the Fallen.
Oh, fuck yeah.
We go back with them a couple years. First show we played with them was actually at D Piazza's. We had no idea who each other were, who was who and whatever, but, you know, we actually stuck around, watched each other's bands. After the show, we were like, hey, you know, you had a good set. Oh, you had a good set too. And from then, we became homies, and
Should go out on a date.
yeah, we wined and dined each other.
Yeah, give a shout out to Lessons in Murder.
Lessons in Murder.
I was about to say Lions Amongst
I know. I noticed that.
Lessons in Murder, even though I'm getting tired of seeing Gary's face at work.
But Gary's beautiful.
Just playing. But,
We
awesome
could also
dudes.
tour with I Hate Everybody since it's pretty much the same band.
Yeah, like just without a couple members.
Yeah.
Fucking check out I Hate Everybody.
I mean, but we got love for like all of our local contemporaries. You know, it's
As long as you're cool people, level-headed, and
Yeah.
you're not a dick, like we'll
definitely
become friends.
There's so many bands out there right now that are really great to us and that we really enjoy watching, and you know, we appreciate the support and the love from the local scene. And I think we get more love and support from bands than anything, which is really great because it's kind of humbling to know that musicians we see as greater than us see us as equals, you know. And it's really cool. We got love for our local scene, LA, OC, you know, IE, whatever.
You'll catch us at other shows other than ours. We dig this shit.
Yeah, I mean, we don't go to shows all the time, but when we have time, we definitely try and make it out to a couple. We're actually supposed to go to Behind the Fallen's tour kickoff at House of Blues. Unfortunately, that didn't happen. Plans fell through, but you know, I hit up David, one of the guitar players from that band, told him we weren't going to make it, and he said it's fine. When they get back, we're going to get a beer, so it's all good.
That's good.
Beer brings us together.
And final question. What can we see from Lions Amongst Wolves for the rest of the year?
Evolution. I don't know. Just us getting better. I think we're capable of just pushing the envelope, like with this band. Not just in the music scene, but also just personally. Like ever since we incorporated the clicks and the backtracks, I feel we've been playing a lot cleaner sets.
Definitely.
And one day at a time, we're just gonna take it from there and just become a better band as a whole.
What'd you call me?
An a-hole.
Oh, thought so.
I love your holes.
I have a few orifices you can fill, but it's neither here nor there.
Answer the question.
Anyway, no, I think we definitely can still improve on our craft. We could definitely step our game up, come up with more quality music, which Benny has been writing. There's a song currently in production on Guitar Pro, which has every single bit of a chance of being a single, like a great single. It sounds like something that had a legit producer listen to it and say, change this, change that, and now you have a real song. It actually is a real song, and not to say that the songs that we've written thus far aren't real songs, but this song is such a step up from what we've done previously, and I think that we're only going to get better and better. We do need to focus on getting new members. Once we get that, then we're going to start booking more shows, maybe 2 to 3 shows a month. We don't want to burn ourselves out. We don't want to, mess up our draw, if any. But yeah, we're going to focus on getting members. We're going to focus on getting shows and producing quality music. We definitely want to get back in the studio to record that single that I just mentioned. So, as far as plans goes, that's it for now. We're not looking too far in the future. We're going to live in the now and see what happens.
Yeah.
I like. And did you get a haircut?
About a week ago.
Don't sing that shit.
Bobby Shmurda.
I hate you.
Okay.
I did. It's about time for a new haircut. Actually, it's been almost 2 weeks since I got a haircut.
It looks shorter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A little bit of length was taken off the top. The sides are 1.5, a little taper, So,
Looks good.
I'm going to hit up the lodge in Long Beach. shout out. Holler at your boy.
You still gonna pay full price?
I'm still paying full price. It's $25 for a fucking haircut. But I tell you what, they throw in a massage at the end.
Do they really?
Yes. No happy ending, but you know, it's fine.
Wow. And with that, I end Boys Wolves' interview. Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I really enjoyed that. I love that interview. That was probably one of my favorite ones. Like I said, it was in the beginning, I had questioned it, saying, is there anything that you do not want me to ask? And they were all out on the table. Whatever I wanted to ask, they would answer. So as you can tell, it was more of a serious interview than a playful one, even though, of course, there was some bits in there that we can just crack up laughing about. But I enjoyed it. Like I said, I had interviewed Lions Amongst Wolves years ago, and when I barely knew them. So knowing them and watching them progress through their career of what is happening now and them skyrocket, it's nice to have that. So I appreciate them as a band and as people. And I also asked what song they wanted me to feature, and they said Heartfelt off their newest EP called Solace. So here is their song Heartfelt.
So I say let's do right now. I'll tell you the way. I will do you. Don't hesitate, don't be afraid. What I have done, go on a time. We can make it through the time. I get my love, stay by your side to get you. Before you fall, I realize one of my choices never reaction. You are my greatest decision. You are my brightest joy. When I gaze into your smile, I will be here for a while. Wanting on to what we have. I will be here for as long as I can. Holding on to be a better man. Here I am with my pulse up, with my eyes red now. I need you to understand. Why would be for you? Why would be for you? You are my everything. Why would be for you? You are my everything. I will fight for what I choose. What I'll never replace. What I'll cry was in a lifetime. Forever you and me. But I love my heart. This business way from the start. From the start. I will do you. Don't hesitate to be afraid. What I have done. Go on a time. Get me. Get through the time. I get my love. Stay by your side to get you before you fall.
Thank you for listening. I really do appreciate it. And I'm sorry I'm 5 days late on this podcast release. At least they didn't yell at me about it. So my next featured artist is A Shark Among Us, and they are some great guys. I had mentioned in the interview that when he threw a show, it was Gnarfest 2, and I had the pleasure of seeing A Shark Among Us for the first time and getting to know them. So they're great guys. I'm really excited to have them as my June featured artist. So Stay tuned for more information on that. And like I said, go to my website. You'll get all that. Go to Facebook first before my website so you can get an idea of what I'm posting there. Thank you for listening. I appreciate it. And thank you, Ray, for chilling in here with me.
No problem.
This is Tamerlyn. Stay local.